Next in the queue, I'm joined here with Brock Pierce and Logan of the band Chatterton. Do you guys just want to introduce yourselves and say what you do really quickly?
Yeah, I'm Brock. I sing and I play guitar.
I'm Logan. I play drums.
So, okay, so I actually discovered y'all through the band Millie. Like they posted about opening for you for your album release show.
Yeah,
How was that having them open for you?
it was cool.
It was
Yeah,
good. It was an honor.
yeah, it was awesome. Um, Millie, Millie is so cool.
Killed it as usual.
Yeah, killed it. Big fans of Millie. So it was just so cool to have him play like the record release show. So
Yeah,
it's just really cool.
I feel like it was perfect timing for me because I listened to the song Smut and then like 2 days later your album dropped Fields of This. So
Oh yeah, you didn't have to wait like the the 2 years or 3 years.
yeah.
Crazy gap. That's cool though.
Yeah. And then this used to be a solo project. How do you think opening the door to collaboration like helped you creatively?
Yeah, I think it helped a lot. Like, I mean, even though like just the difference between like a song like Smut that was recorded with help, but like pretty much just like me mixing it and like doing it relatively solo, just with like some additional help, sounds like drastically different than I think like the songs on like Fields of This, because Logan did the production um and the mix on that, so it was more of a I don't know. It's definitely it opens the door for more things that I would never be able to probably think of, or stuff that is outside of like my wheelhouse that Logan brings to the table. I would say.
Yeah. Like, and how did you feel like entering that and like adding your own like production value to that?
Me.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, I mean, I think it's kind of always been pretty easy to work with Brock. I've worked with a few people like over the course of playing music, and it's typically a range of, sometimes it's always got to be this way or that way. I feel like Brock's pretty open to the collaboration. I feel like it's always been like pretty easy and natural. So I guess I felt good going into it.
Um, and then like what do you think you learned from like being a part of like the internet scene and culture, like ranging from like 2017 to like 2020-ish.
Um, I mean, pretty much like everything. Like just like engaging with like all those people. Like, I mean, I just feel like just watching like my friends release music, just like I feel like I became like a better songwriter just by kind of like watching and listening to everything my friends would make. And then like I don't know, like even recording music, like Melena Logan from Melena Cole, he like taught me over like Twitter DMs how to like work a microphone and like how to set up an audio interface. Like pretty much like everything I feel like I kind of learned from like internet friends online. And yeah, I guess if that makes sense, kind of just the whole thing.
Yeah, and what kind of music do you think you were listening to during that time period?
A lot of Alex G, a lot of Melena Cole, a lot of Elliott Smith, kind of like I guess like Soccer Mommy. I really like Soccer Mommy, like Coma Cinema. Kind of like a lot of like the like, big bedroom pop bands of like the 2010s, like the Orchid Tapes kind
Hmm.
of scene. But yeah,
Yeah. I think isn't Cinema like making music under that moniker again, I think now.
I think so. Yeah, because I know he did a Elvis Presley album
Hmm.
like last year or something. But I thought it was dead because he did that like final album in 2017.
Yeah, he did that final album. And then I saw, I think he opened for Soccer Mommy, I think in Asheville, and he was like, this is like the last coma cinema show ever. And I was like, oh, that's awful. But I think I
Damn.
again, which is cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool. Yeah, I love Coma Cinema. I always thought it was weird to like announce it as like the final album because I feel like it was, I don't know, they only did trick. Yeah, it's trick. Like, it's kind of like the LCD sound system thing. They made that box set and it was like the final show ever at
Yeah,
Madison Square Garden, and then they came back like 4 years later.
yeah.
Show ever for right now.
I feel like that's really funny of like artists like where they're like, this is gonna be like my opus, and they're like, I'm gonna stop. But
Yeah,
like if you're a creative person, like you can't ever really stop what you're interested in.
yeah. I feel like it probably made sense to like Matthew Cawthorn because he has like so many side projects,
Yeah.
but like I feel like you know, like 4 years or 3 years after that, he was probably like, oh shit, the camera's like tripping. I can see him probably. It's probably is cool in the moment, and then as years go by, it's kind of like, man, that's kind of
Becomes a regretful choice.
Yeah. I was on a recent episode that I did with like Chris Emond. We were talking about like artists like I'm blanking like Sign Crushes Motorist and like Ricky Acid, who's also like under like so many different projects.
yeah,
Like, I think it's cool and interesting when people do that.
yeah, no, it's really cool. It's like a rabbit hole. The Sign Crushes Motorist shit is like,
It's
oh,
going again.
oh, is it just
It's going again.
the Sign Crushes Motorist thing is like a rabbit hole unlike anything I've seen. Like the amount of side projects is ridiculous, but it is so smart and so cool, but it's so crazy. Like I don't know, I've seen like at least like 15 and it's
And I think I've only seen nine. Like, there's so
okay. I
many.
I could be dramatic, like making it sound way more dramatic or way more. But yeah, it
I
definitely
thought
looks like a
it was
lot.
back then.
Regardless, a good, the most I've ever seen for side projects.
Yeah, I think that's really crazy. I don't know. I feel like like I see both sides to doing it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's cool because like I feel like streaming is now like in a way kind of like swapped out like platforms like Bandcamp in a sense, not like fully, but like it seems more advantageous to like release literally everything you make on streaming and just hope that it lands on a playlist or something.
I think
Mhm.
that's what people have been doing.
Yeah, so I feel like that's kind of what everyone's gravitating towards rather than keeping stuff exclusively on Bandcamp and stuff, which I think is smart,
Absolutely.
but
Yeah, and I think Spotify like incentivizes you to like release more music because like
Completely.
when you're not releasing music, like your monthly streaming numbers are down as opposed to like if you do start releasing more music and maybe you're making it on playlists, so then
right.
like skyrockets the amount of monthly listeners that you have.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Yeah, which is
Oh,
just funny
weird.
to think about. Like metrics, I don't know. Talking about metrics is like really crazy to me. I'm like, sometimes those numbers don't even mean anything.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's so like, for the most part, inconsequential in a way. Like, I don't know, it's always weird. Like, you could have like, especially in like the TikTok environment too, where you can have like, like 100,000 monthly listeners and then no one shows up to shows. It's kind of weird. But then there's some people who have like 200 monthly listeners and then everyone in the scene shows up. It's so weird to compare. Um, but it's cool. But it's so weird in the world of like TikTok and Spotify how sometimes they matter, sometimes they don't. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like I like to think about like before streaming. Even now, like sorry, I'm gonna bring up something so stupid. Like how Charlie XCX released her album like last week, and Taylor Swift released like last minute to like
Yeah.
new versions of her album just to stay on the charts. Like I think that's so corny.
a good representation of how the whole thing works now,
Like,
to be honest.
yeah, and it's like even if you break a record, is it really breaking the record if you had to do it in a shady way?
Yeah. At what cost? At what cost?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Money
especially
talks, though. Money talks.
it's it's so funny though, especially because it wasn't it like UK exclusive, and she
Yeah, it was
had
like
to.
UK only. Like she has like 37 different releases of that album. And also it's just funny because the same thing happened to Billie Eilish, but it was like kind of like murkier because like it was released everywhere. But like this is like blatantly like you're just trying to block the number one from trying
Yeah,
to.
100%. It's like so odd, especially because like Charlie XCX is like way more popular, I would say. Maybe at least from what it looks like in the UK than the US. But I don't know. I think it's so funny to try to like one up her. It's just like not fair. It's like so crazy. So why do you even have to do that? I don't know. It's pretty funny though. I saw the Billie Eilish shit too,
Yeah,
and I was not very surprised.
it's funny. I didn't even. Okay, no, I'm not gonna get into it. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
I'm gonna
Can of worms.
Yeah, I gotta shut
Yeah.
my mouth before I start getting like death threats
Yeah.
and DMs.
What do you think got both of you interested in like making music?
Do you want to go first?
First time I opened like a digital audio workspace. I don't know. I haven't gotten enough time on tape, but I know that's just as fun. I think just the passion I felt from doing that for the first time, like
Yeah.
personally.
I think when I went because I had been to like concerts like the Lumineers and like big stadiums when I was younger. And then I think the first time I went to like a DIY kind of show, like a smaller show with like mosh pits in high school with my older brother. That was pretty eye-opening to me because I had never experienced anything like that.
You like remember any of the shows that you went to?
Oh God. Yeah, unfortunately. They were all like do you guys like know like Burger Records on the East Coast?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know, unfortunately. Um that was like a
This was a long time ago.
yeah, long time ago, long time ago. This was like 2015. So peak like Burger Records. I would go to like
Pre-fall of Burger.
yeah, yeah, the Follow Burger. It was like I saw like Swimmers, Together Pangea, the Aqua Dolls. Um, oh man, what was I think Swimmers was the first one I ever saw. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't even R.I.P. but like rest in peace.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. What do you think you'd be doing if you didn't make music? So like,
I like acting. I've done acting since I was younger, so and I still do it. But hopefully maybe acting or something in the arts, like making children's books or something.
I probably feel unfulfilled. That's what I'd probably be doing. I don't know. I don't really know. I'd probably be doing a job I don't want to do, like for as many years as I need to. Currently still doing that, but there's an exit plan at least.
yeah.
So I don't know, actually. It's a good question.
And Brock, you have a label called Seventh Heaven. What was that like starting it up?
It was cool. I used to work at this label with some friends, and we had a epic dramatic falling out. So I wanted to make a label because like I thought the label we had like kind of belonged to me, but it didn't. So like I kind of lost like all the work I put into that. So I wanted to just make a new one. We also had a bunch of like releases on the back burner for that label, and I didn't want to like ditch them. So I just kind of moved them over to the new label. And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
And like, who are some of your artists that we should keep an eye out for, or like any that are like coming out with new music this year?
Yeah, new music this year. Mm, I don't know if Lily Piet is coming out with anything this year. She just released an awesome album though, and I think that one's amazing. She's incredible. Um, more Bonsai. We just played with her. She's so cool. I think I'm gonna be making some tapes for her. And the songs sound awesome. I'd say that. Think of what else. I'm blanking on my list. I would say those two are really good ones. Trimo, of course. Trimo's
Always putting stuff out.
yeah, he's always awesome. Yeah.
Okay, and so in an interview you did last year with TPT Logan, you said that you had some solo music in the vault. Do you think
Oh goodness, that's
do
a
you
dig
think
right there. It's honestly still like probably in exactly the same place.
Mhm.
I think there's so much like effort that went into finishing the record, and since then I've kind of been opening it up and working with clients and stuff, so I haven't even gotten a chance to really. I've actually been working on different solo music, which is a
Mhm.
horrible habit, like non-bandy style music, like ambient stuff and whatnot. So I'm going down a different rabbit hole, and I haven't even finished up the last thing. So it's don't be like me. Don't be doing that. Anyone out there who's listening, don't do that. Finish your stuff. It'll come out soon. And by soon I mean a couple of years or less.
Yeah. Do you have a
Yeah.
name yet or still work in
Don't
progress?
know name. No, that's kind of been like a big thing for I guess not me not wanting to really like invest the time up front right now, like or not feeling the pull to it.
I feel
Still
like
need a
coming
name.
up with the name is hard.
It is, yeah, because I don't really believe that there's like good band names. I think they're all kind of just silly. But I still think there's like some that are a little more clever or creative than others, which is fine. But I want something that's like gonna come off
Yeah.
not super dumb, but you know, of course not taking itself seriously. But you know, I think there's some choices to be had there. It's the basis for your marketing.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. But yeah, no, thank you for asking. It's a deep cut right there.
So this album that you guys just put out, it's like 3 years in the making. And some songs were written as far back as 2019. Like what's the oldest song on the album? And then, like what was the last song that y'all wrote?
Yeah. The oldest song on the album, it might be Wither or Our Song.
Oh yeah, our song.
Yeah, Our Song's pretty old. Those are like from 2018 maybe. Um, Our Song's definitely from 2018. I'm pretty sure there's a Wither demo from 2018 or early 2019. And then the rest are kind of scattered after that. But those are probably the oldest. And then
Lakewood was the most recent one.
most recent.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like
Pretty things was
Pretty Things was already written.
yeah,
Yeah. I
in
would
a
say
demo format. Yeah.
yeah. So I guess Lakewood. But
Aside from the interludes, because those are just crafted up
yeah.
in the box only.
Yeah. But Pretty Things we did last minute though. So like
We recorded that
like January
Mhm.
with the deadline.
Yeah.
for
A
the
month
album.
a month before we're supposed to be done after 2
Yeah,
years. We're
dropping
like,
the
let's
single.
do one more song. It's like it worked out. So
Yeah.
people seem to like that song. So
Yeah, and I think Lakewood is like a standout track to me. What was like the process creating that song?
It was
came about in a jam during
pretty
practice, and then Brock had lyrics ready to go from a very different sounding song.
Yeah.
Um,
Another
yeah.
demo.
It'll see the light of day eventually.
Yeah. Has the same lyrics more or less, but yeah, I just reused those. But we came up with the jam pretty.
It just
On
happens.
the
It's
spot,
just one of
yeah.
those. It just you're playing nonsense, and then the next bar you're fully locked in with everybody, and the instrumentation is kind of set in stone, I guess.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Very intuitive track to piece together. Fortunately, it was fun to record it. It took us way too long and way too many video channels. But I feel like it didn't really become a fully formed written track until we kind of sat down and pieced it out to record.
Yeah.
Up to that point, our live performances were anywhere from 5 to probably almost 10 minutes on that song, just playing complete, just whatever.
Because we didn't,
stuff.
we didn't have like a structure, so we would just jam it. every time, and then like, I mean, it worked out most of the time.
There were a few
where
you
it dragged
noticed.
on way too long.
As jams go, live improvisational stuff is very hit or miss sometimes, especially if you're not a trained jazz musician or whatever. So
Yeah,
we decided to like make it a little more consistent for the record, shorten it up a little bit.
just 13.
That's true. Is that even a song though? Does it even
Yeah.
does it even exist?
There's a secret song, and that one kind of,
That is true.
I think that one was actually the most written. Kind of same thing. It was a jam, and then that was like a 10-minute jam that trimmed down. But yeah,
How do you like trim it down to like what the final product is? Like, how do you know what to cut out? What to,
That usually just comes down to when we start to apply lyrics to it. It becomes pretty like
starts to feel a little boring.
well that, but then also I think just like envisioning the arrangement, you can kind of just make the call. More or less just be like, okay, this, I can envision what's going to go here. And I think beyond this many bars here, it's going to start to drag, kind of like you're saying. It'll sound, it almost always sounds a little dull at first when you're piecing it together, but I think it's just projection.
Yeah, some of it too is like you have at least a rough idea of like what the main parts you want are, and or like what we all want like the main parts to be, and what the rest can be technically considered like, like fat that needs to be like trimmed off.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, how much should we trim off, and then like and keep around the main parts, I guess. Because there's always like a little bit of that, but
yeah, definitely.
yeah. And then what do you think some of like some album or song inspirations were for this album?
like for you, probably Flaming Lips.
Yeah, definitely a lot of like late 90s, early 2000s Flaming Lips stuff, like Soft Bulletin, Yoshimi was really huge on the production style, I guess, like the layering. I find those, especially Yoshimi, is just obsessive layering on it, just so many sounds and synths coming in and doing like little tiny things just one time and it's gone. It was a genius little sound. You could have used that more, but I think the fact that it's sparingly used in such an obsessive way, I think creates this kind of magic. That's kind of what I was trying to get out of it, at least.
Yeah. Probably Spark Wars. I would like compare, like, especially for like louder songs, like I guess Dreamt for Light Years and It's a Wonderful Life. Probably those two were like the ones I would cross reference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so Fields of This came out in March. How do you think the reception of this album has been?
It's been great.
Yeah, way better than we had expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of hope for it, and you don't know. After so long, too, it becomes such a heavy investment.
Yeah. So. And then well, because we're having a really hard time getting pressed for the album. So like for a while we're kind of feeling like, oh, damn. Like it kind of seemed a little hopeless. Like no one just like blogs were picking it up.
I mean, to be fair, I think that was only for like a week, but it felt like,
I guess
it felt like longer.
Sure, yeah.
Especially because we had led with the single for a month. I mean, so then you kind of don't know.
We got a few though, but like we didn't get like, because when we were talking to the person helping us with PR,
that is true.
There was like
a select few.
Yeah, we kind of had like a large list that we thought like we might maybe get on, but it was cool. Like Pitchfork picked it up, which was crazy,
awesome, mind blowing.
Yeah,
like a pleasure.
Yeah,
like an honor.
An honor. Yeah, it was cool. It seemed like no one liked it at first, honestly, or that it wasn't really landing right. But it seems like it's landed right.
Yeah. I think it's one that's going to be a slow burner, personally. Yeah. I think it just, there's a lot of Easter eggs and connections track to track or moment to moment that I think are more apparent to the people who kind of piece them together. But I think as listeners kind of have more time to revisit them when they feel inclined, I think those Easter eggs will present themselves personally. So I you know, I think it's on a good trajectory. I'm very happy with how people have seen it.
Yeah.
Lots of kind words.
Yeah. Do you want to reveal like one of those Easter eggs that are on the album?
It's honestly pretty like non-specific stuff. It's more like sounds, like little certain instruments used. Like there's a couple little moments where there's like a tongue drum that just placed kind of similar effect, like a little roll kind of thing. Just a couple different like song transitions. You know, there's certain little sounds like that that come through. Mostly instrumentation Easter eggs, I think. Unless there's anything I'm forgetting.
No, I keep like laughing because every time I hear like
Easter
Easter eggs,
eggs,
I have like
yeah.
brain rot from like Marvel. Okay. No, I mean I think yeah. I mean there's like some like
I think we had in some of the dialogue stuff as well. There was like some story,
Yeah.
some kind of
deep cut sampling.
yeah, not necessarily like a greater story, but like almost a greater message to be discerned, which we'll leave up to
Yeah.
the listener, I suppose.
There's cool sample, especially like intro two and one. There's kind of really cool samples.
Yeah, just anything that's not apparent on the first couple listens, I guess I would consider Easter eggy.
And then this was all recorded in a home studio. Do you think you learned anything from that process? Is there anything that you guys would like to do differently?
Learned everything from that process. Like learned too much. Like
Mhm.
probably gonna make some of the same mistakes again because of that. But no, yeah, I think personally it's just showed me how like kind of crazy it is to follow through and kind of complete that something like that, like a full album in like 100 square foot room is kind of a lot more than it's biting off a big piece for sure. um I think it kind of has just taught me it's possible personally. Like I didn't really know how possible. It's not the best sounding record by any means, but we kind of did it off our own knowledge, which I think is the fun part. I think next time I wouldn't really have an issue maybe employing some more people to help on the technical side, like with engineering stuff or different studios. We have a buddy in a couple, a little ways down who's just started up a really nice studio, so we'll probably be working with him. Um, Permitting he's like if he's interested, of course. But yeah, I don't know.
I feel like the songs got, I mean, kind of like you're saying, like it was all figured out on the way, like comparing like the God, like if you on the last like Seventh Heaven comp we just put out for the 2-year anniversary, we put a Godzilla hands demo on it, and that for like the longest time up until like maybe like August of 2023, that was gonna be the main recording for Godzilla Hands, and then comparing that one to the finished version is so crazy. And like the demo that we first recorded for intro song, it's just like you can see like the progress and how like
that one got recorded 3 times actually. We did a demo and then we did a real version. And then the demo was supposed to be the real version. That was what like the 3 years was that one was way back in like 2021 or something.
The whole everything, especially going into Pretty Things, it was so like, it's like, well, it's so different than Trick that we recorded like 2 years ago kind of thing. I think one more big lesson is the analysis paralysis thing is no bueno. Like just committing to moves, I think is definitely, and not sitting on your songs for way too long. To the point where you're overhearing them. I think that's probably actually the biggest single lesson that we've both learned from this process, speaking for you too.
And what are y'all's favorite songs on the album?
Oh man, it's so hard to approach that one. Like I'm really happy with how our song came out. We kind of did that one like really, that one was really early, so I think we shifted the entire instrumentation from what it was previously into like more of a jazzy bossa nova thing, and I think that paid off pretty good. It was like kind of just blindly going in that direction. Like, we were just kind of That one came out good, I think.
Yeah, that one's aged really well. I think Pretty Things and Bailey have always been my two favorites. Yeah, I really like those ones. Pretty Things in particular, I think sounds great.
I'm also happy with Liquid.
Yeah,
Personally, I think that one came out nice. And the bonus track.
yeah, the bonus track's cool.
Not to list like half the album now, but yeah, they're just like cool things that I've grown to appreciate about all of them. That maybe, like I just said, rushing to put it out, I wouldn't have quite. Yeah. The balance is nuanced, I guess, for how long to hold on to your songs.
Yeah.
And then what are your favorite songs to play live?
Off the record, or because I guess off the record, like Lakewood's fun.
Lakewood's always fun.
Trick's always fun. It's like
yeah, I can say the ones I hate.
Didn't want to play Godzilla Hands live.
No, Godzilla Hands I don't mind. I hate playing. I hate playing Sorry. I hate playing Sorry.
Yeah. We have to figure out how to make that one more interesting.
Yeah. I think I like. I really like playing Intro.
Yeah, that's fun too.
Yeah, because it's always like a good warm up. Like sometimes I get clammy hands, so just being able to like start it off slow is nice because then I can get into it. Yeah. But yeah, I would say Lakewood's a pretty easy, fun one.
Yeah, we got some higher energy stuff for our next record too. So a couple of those songs are floating around in the set now, and they're very fun to play. Like they feel fresh. And
recency bias.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I think they're slightly more like sophisticated in that like most of these tracks were written for one performer, like on a guitar. These new tracks are kind of written for a four-piece band outfit. So it kind of, there's like a different level of different level of tie-ins and whatnot. So those are fun to play for sure. But the recency bias is real for sure.
Yeah. So do you have any like plans to tour anywhere else besides?
Yeah.
Rock's been killing it.
Yeah.
We're booking our US tour and
ripping my hair out trying to plan it. But yeah, we're touring late August
until late September.
Pretty much like a month in full, just like I think August 21st to September 21st. And then we're hitting like
75% of the US and then a little tiny bit of Canada.
Yeah. One date in Canada.
Maybe a second if anybody knows.
Yeah. Might take a day to enjoy the beautiful Canadian scenery that we have never seen. Yeah. I've never seen.
Never been to Canada.
So we might take a day off there or figure it out. But yeah, working on that.
Yeah, so very soon actually.
Yeah, trying to finish it as soon as possible so they can announce it.
Pretty much a little over 2 months to the day we're gonna be heading out. So it should be fun.
Awesome.
We'll be announcing that.
Yeah.
Sooner than later.
What are some artists that you've been listening to lately?
Oh, dude, that record that guy was playing at Permanent was the Uwe. Dude, I listened to the whole thing. It was so good, bro.
Yeah, it's the first song in the playlist that we did.
So good, dude.
Uwe Grano.
Yep. I've been trying to do my due diligence and do some Devo deep dives because I've never really taken the time to listen to Devo.
Yeah. Devo's awesome.
Devo's good. Yeah, everything I've heard's been good.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Arthur Russell. Love Arthur Russell. A lot of that. What else? Yeah. Not Daft Punk. LCD Sound System.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe I just mixed
James
them up.
is gonna
Just because of that fucking song.
You showed me that band Vitreous Humor. That was cool.
Oh yeah,
cool band.
Also listening to Vitreous Humor. I think they're from Kansas, Iowa,
Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas. Cool band. Cool '90s, early '90s, late '80s. Like not math.
Like kind of proto math rock.
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah.
Emo. Really cool.
Cool stuff.
Cool ass song. Cool ass band.
And then you talked about like in your set that you've been playing new music. Like what could people that are listening expect from the newer stuff that's coming in?
Like copy and pasted Yes album, like 1970, like full prog organs. He's gonna be hitting falsettos. Like no,
the whole shebang.
maybe more like in line with like
I don't know. I mean, like it comes across to me like I mean more like a basement on the hill, Elliott Smith, where he was kind of doing that. I don't know, where basement was like more like a electric, more rock, more. It sounds silly, but just more like I don't know. Yeah, more
devil horns.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, a little more.
It's a little more rocky. I think that's
Yeah,
really
a little more
probably
loose
the like
too.
yeah. I think
In
we've
some,
retained our looseness.
Yeah.
We have retained our looseness. Yeah, we've kept it fun, like
yeah,
kind of fresh.
yeah,
We always stay slightly out of tune.
yeah. It's kind of the same thing with like Fields of This, where there's like no, it doesn't really stick to one. At least the idea we have
Yeah.
for it right now, it's not
Yeah.
going to stick to like one sound. It's going to be kind of a little medley almost. I don't know.
And we have to piece together a lot of the. We have pretty much all the songs conceptualized in that basic way, but only a few of them are done in the sense of like
We can play
they're
them
already
live.
Yeah. There's an instrumentation and whatnot. Most of them are gonna, I think, evolve a little bit, and I think that'll shape kind of our adjectives we use to describe. But I think what's going to be different this time is we'll have we'll go in as a band ready to do them, so we're not over analyzing the basic steps, and we can get the easy stuff done. So I think that's going to have an effect on kind of how the product comes out. Maybe just a little bit more raw, a little bit more loose, maybe a little more fun,
A little more rock and roll.
especially roll.
And you just released a single, Deep End. Is that newer or?
Technically,
yeah, technically I mean, because we put it out May for a comp for
very beginning of May.
a charity comp for Palestinian relief. So I think they were planning on putting it on streaming, and then I think it was too much of a hassle, so we put it on streaming, just donating the royalties, and then the song's older though. I think I wanted it to go on Fields of the. I never pitched it, I don't think, but it was on.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, it was on the chopping block.
And then we busted it out in like probably about a week.
Yeah,
like in the middle of April.
Yeah.
So it was a kind of easy process.
Yeah.
That one kind of came together. We were going for a little bit of like a indie rock with a touch of the Cranberries.
Yes.
No, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. Sometimes it's really easy.
Yeah. It came pretty quickly, and it turned out cool.
So that one's pretty fresh though. So interested to see how people will receive that one.
Mess with it.
Yeah.
And then so for your playlist, it's titled Music for Wearing Sunglasses Inside. What do you think are like some criteria for that?
I don't know.
Cool as hell.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
A little mysterious, a little cool. Honestly, like I noticed, like the ones I was picking typically had like a prominent bass. That really kind of like.
I was just going off the cool guy vibe.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like.
Also cool guy.
Could I envision the performer wearing sunglasses while serenading me with this track?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I was coming at.
Yeah. When I put on headphones, can I imagine myself wearing sunglasses
Walking
inside a
down the street.
room, walking around,
Oh yeah,
being
inside.
nonchalant? Yeah. Had to envision myself. Like if I could pull it off with sunglasses, I think it worked, and I would add it.
And then what are
I'm
some
not sure.
No, go for
We
it.
also had our guitarist and bassist add
Oh
songs.
yeah, did you just put them all in? Everything that was said?
No, I organized
Okay.
it.
I was like,
But
I guess.
yeah, they put some songs into so I imagine the criteria was more or less the same. No?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And then what are some of your favorite tracks on the playlist?
Do you want
Oh my gosh. Um,
The Ue Brown.
yeah, that track was sweet. Was it Novel Scene? Crazy song. We were just at our show the other night. A bartender put us on to this album. Somebody was doing like the sound guy was doing a sound check for comedy night, and he was just voicing over like doing this joke voice with delay over this crazy like almost stock like royalty free piano backing track, and I was like laughing like what is this? And then the guy's like, no, it's a real album. So I listened to it, and it's actually pretty legit.
Yeah,
So that song is like
That
song's
great.
hard for sure.
Yeah, that song is sick.
I think what else I even put on there. Oh, the Marcos Valles song is very good too.
Classic.
Yeah, that dude is
Fogo de Sol.
no, it was a little more upbeat one. That's like definitely
No, but he made that one, right?
Yeah.
It was
Definitely
like it was like Tapa no.
yeah, Top of No Real. Yep.
Definitely
Like coolest album of the 80s right there.
that one's
Bold
cool.
claim, but
I liked I mean, it had the Arthur Russell song, You Did It Yourself. That one's awesome. I honestly didn't like it when it was a single for that album, but now I love it. What else? I don't know.
that's solid.
Yeah, I like the playlist. I thought it was cool. Everyone had.
We'll keep it around. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It'll be rotating.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you think is the Chatterton cool guy song?
Like like the coolest song we have, or
No, like it's like if you would put it on this playlist.
oh, I see.
That's what
Oh,
I know.
shit.
Like
Um,
I don't think we're that cool yet.
Yeah,
I don't think we've hit like that cool
Um,
factor yet.
maybe if anything, probably our song because it has that bossa nova.
Got the sax lick too.
Yeah, got the
Nothing
sax.
cooler and sexier than saxophone. Yeah. I guess that is a good
Yeah,
little flute on there too.
the rest I wouldn't say, or the rest are more like
They're more
Getting
vulnerable. They're more
getting shoved in a locker.
yeah, yeah.
That would be on a
A
different
locker that you
playlist.
don't quite fit into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be like music for getting wet willies and swirlies.
I really like the LCD Sound System song on this playlist.
Song's awesome. I love that song. I'm blanking on it. It starts with a D.
Yeah,
It's on the.
Disco
Yeah.
Like it's playing at my house. Oh my god.
What was it?
Disco Infiltrator.
Yes,
Oh, there you
yeah. It's on the like the Wikipedia. Look out. The
Mhm.
classic. The classic. Good ass song.
And you guys are from Oxnard, right? I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, Oxnard.
Yeah.
Are there any bands that are from there that y'all like?
Well, Oxnard's historically been known as like a hardcore and punk town.
It's got like some cool history, like Madlib, right?
Yeah, Madlib's from Oxnard. Um,
MF Doom did a video here.
yeah, the one where he's outside one of the car washes over here with Madlib. Yeah, kind of cool. Everyone knows Anderson Paak, of course.
Yeah.
He reps Oxnard, or at least used to.
Elliott Smith made a music video not in Oxnard, but right outside of Oxnard in Satico, which is like 20 minutes away.
Yeah. Most of the people we play with, like our typical like adjacent bands,
Yeah.
our peers are from Ventura, which is the greater kind of. It's like the county. We're in Ventura County, so Ventura is just a little more north.
They got Scientists, and Subtours, Eye Candy, for like up and coming new bands.
Well, just homies like
Yeah,
homies
Claire,
around here.
Little
Yeah.
One.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming out of Oxnard.
Yeah, there's a cool scene.
It's Ventura and the greater
The
Ventura.
805,
Yeah.
if you will. It's on the up.
So we're coming towards the end. Is there anything that you guys want to plug or?
I guess not. I mean,
What? No. Logan's producing an album with, or like an EP or something with our friend Claire, who did some vocals on the album.
Yeah.
It sounds.
Oh, that might be a future.
Oh yeah,
release,
I might
guess,
put that
for
on
this year.
Seventh Heaven.
Yeah, potentially.
If she wants, if she lets me. But
I
it's
think she was having the opposite thing. She's like, if Brock lets me. So,
yeah.
talking to her about that.
It sounds incredible already.
It's been fun so far. Yeah, we're a good way through. So that might actually make it out this year.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a
Kind
cool
of
plug.
adjacent to the Chatterton album, I would say.
Yeah.
So far, it's coming out kind of similar.
Yeah.
So for listeners who are enjoying our record, I guess you'll
Check out
like
Little
that
One.
Yeah.
Check out Little One.
She's got that song in your comp.
Oh yeah, she has a
just
song that's
posted.
going on the EP called Four. It's on the new comp.
Yeah.
So it's really good. That's it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
Yeah, it's good fun.